in the lake, and you'll win it.
But your fearless fight has by now won hundreds more good citizens to join you in the ranks of the RBA. And the women folk joined too.
We weren't going to let our men take all the chances. We formed the Women's Auxiliary of the RBA and carried the battle to the state capitol.
The voice of the president of the Women's Auxiliary of your reform group, a woman of great courage. Here from Phenix City, Alabama, is your good friend Hilda Coulter.
Appreciate it.
Inspired by Mr. Bentley, what crime evidence did you women turn up, Miss Coulter?
Well, we found that gangsters were serving on grand juries in our town, and they were marking ballots for people, that is, gangsters were, and people from out of state were being allowed the privilege of voting, and vote buying was evident in the streets.
Did you women meet secretly?
Well, we tried to. We met at various members' homes, but somehow they always seemed to know where we were meeting. They shouted us and would turn in the driveways and shine lights in the windows and even cut our tires off our cars and threw rotten eggs on our windshields. But that only made us fight them harder.
Were you ever threatened personally, Miss Coulter?
Yes, I was. On one occasion, a woman threatened that if she ever caught me on the road alone, that she would crash into my car with hers.
Thank you, Hilda Coulter of Phenix City, Alabama. On the night of January 9th, 1952, Hugh Bentley, you pay the bitter price of leadership when the criminal combine bombs your home to splinters with your wife and 2 children in it. The hours that follow are your Gethsemane. How did you find the answer when you faced the question whether you dared to go on, whether you were justified in risking your family again, Hugh?
Well, sort of like do everybody else that are Christians who just pray about it and try to find the answer to prayer.
And your brave wife agreed with you that you must fight on. Here's that lady, Bernice, Mrs. Hugh Bentley. Miss Bentley's going to sit on that side of you, sir. It was a moment of decision for you, too, Mrs. Bentley.
Yes, I believed in Hugh's work. I always admired him, but I think I admired him most when he gave the insurance money for my bummed-out house to the RBA to further their cause.
A few weeks after your home is dynamited, Hugh Bentley, there's a state primary election. You and Hugh Britton and your son, Hugh Beau, who was only 16 at this time, go to look for violations of the voting laws. Now, what did you hope to prevent there?
Well, Ralph, we were involved in so many things there, trying to stop the corruption in our government. We were looking for anything that, the main thing is trying to stop them from beating Mr. Patterson at that time. He was
buying votes and
yes,
stuffing the
buying
ballot?
votes.
What
yes.
happens to the 3 of you, Hugh Britton, Hugh Beau, your son, and yourself at the polls, Mr. Bentley?
Well, we were standing there talking, and I looked around, and there's a big thug behind Hugh Britton, and all at once I saw him hit Hugh from behind. And I started for him, and when I started for this man that hit Hugh, then somebody hit me from the side, and my son came to my rescue, and they knocked him down, and he rolled up under an automobile, and we were all beaten up pretty badly.
A woman pleaded with the policeman to intervene, I understand. What did the policeman say, Hugh Beau?
The cop said, lady said, they're not hurting, they just hit him with a fist and feet.
After you have exhausted every legal means, you realize your only hope is to appeal to the people of Alabama and hope to elect a man dedicated to law and order. Whom did you ask to run for state attorney general?
Mr. Albert Patterson, who was our attorney.
And yes, sir.
And who was the inspiration to us to organize the RBA. The whole setup was his idea.
And you back him in an all-out campaign for that office.
At the close of the campaign, informers brought us word that the underworld had drawn us an order of death list. The name that led this list was Albert Patterson.
That voice belongs to a man who wouldn't be scared of the devil himself. A former president of your RBA group. Today he's the mayor of Lynn Haven, Florida. Here's your friend, Howard Pennington. Now, Howard Pennington, your name was also on the gang's death list, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Hugh Britton also.
Mm-hmm. Now, to finance Mr. Patterson's race for office, Howard Pennington made an unusual personal sacrifice, didn't he, Hugh Bentley?
He mortgaged his home and turned the money over to me to make television speeches and to help Mr. Patterson win the Attorney General's office.
A bitter campaign follows, and in the runoff election, the underworld makes its first big mistake. And what was that, Howard Pennington?
They tampered with the vote returns from Jefferson County, resulting in a grand jury investigation. They were getting desperate, and Mr. Patterson knew this. He and I made a vow that if one of us was killed, we would see that the murderers were brought to justice.
Thank you, Mayor Howard Pennington of Lynn Haven, Florida. In a moment, Hugh Bentley will see how these events culminate in a finish that stuns the state of Alabama. First, let's watch as a mysterious woman gets rid of a problem, one you may like to get rid of, too.
And that is the end of waving lotion forever. Pace is here. New Pace. Procter & Gamble's astonishing no lotion home permanent. Ends lotion mess forever. In this envelope lies the secret. The permanent's in the papers. Yes, the end papers contain the waving ingredients. You do your Pace permanent the usual way, except you don't use messy waving lotion. Plain, clear water releases the waving action. And because each paper contains just the right amount of waving ingredients, your Pace wave will be perfect. A lasting wave that leaves your hair so wonderfully soft and natural looking. And you, so beautiful.